This video contains major spoilers for Persona 5. The first card in the Tarot deck, number 0, the Fool. It represents all of us in our infancy. It is the card of beginnings, of the start of the Fool's journey. Unlike previous entries in Persona 5, the Fool is not associated with the main group, but rather the opposite. The Fool Arcana is that of Igor, or rather, of Yaldabaoth. I'm Ouroboros. Let's talk. If you missed my video on the Fool's Journey, I would recommend that you watch it before jumping into this series. It goes over the Fool's Journey and gives a brief rundown of each of the major arcana, so go check it out. Anyway, like I said earlier, the main group tends to be associated with the Fool Arcana. C's in P3 and the investigation team in P4 all go through their own journey to reach the world and the end of the story. But no such arcana exists for the Phantom Thieves. Instead, Igor is given the Fool Arcana, and, like previous versions, its progression is tied to the story. So there are a lot of similarities between the old and new Fool, which I think is pretty representative of P5 itself. It shares many aspects with its predecessors, while diverging in many other ways. But I digress. Igor is the Fool. Igor, or Yaldabaoth, as I'll be referring to him for the rest of the video, does have his own journey. He was born from the collective unconscious desire to be controlled. His physical form manifested in the prison of sloth in the depths of mementos, and I think that's the perfect summary for his entire character. You see, mementos is the heart of all distortion during the events of P5. It's a place where humanity yearns to give up, to have someone else control our lives. And Yaldabaoth is the treasure of that public desire. He is both the source of that desire and its product. It makes complete sense that Yaldabaoth would resist change. He would resist anything that contradicts his preconceived notions. He doesn't want to grow and change like the other fools do, because it literally is not how he was made. And while all of us resist change to some extent, Yaldabaoth is steadfast in his belief that change should only be dictated by him under his terms. And we can see this belief in action when we look into his game that he plays with Akechi and Joker. He basically ruined Joker and Akechi's life for his bet with the real Igor. He put Shido in power and gave Joker and Akechi the ability to enter the metaverse in order to see which would prevail: the reformation of a corrupt system, or the destruction of it. Of course, Akechi and Joker are the two agents of each ideology. They're really just guinea pigs in Yaldabaoth's game. It's even implied that these two had no choice in their participation in this game. Akechi was forced to be a puppet for yet another person. He was always destined to be the perpetrator of mass hysteria due to his relationship with Shido, and Joker suffered the same fate as well. It can even be inferred that Joker's initial probation was the work of Yaldabaoth. It's possible that, if Yaldabaoth had not existed, Joker would have never even encountered Shido assaulting that woman, and, in turn, would have never been sent to Tokyo. Everything from the very beginning was set up. And now that I say that out loud, it definitely sounds a lot like previous Persona games. However, unlike other fools before him, Yaldabaoth has no intention of seeing the legitimate results of these actions. It was rigged from the start, and since he has the power to manipulate the cognition of the masses, he plays it off like it was all normal, like it was all some natural event. That's the whole reason the Phantom Thieves decided to investigate mementos after Shido's confession. Normally, a prime minister confessing to such an elaborate, murderous conspiracy and the existence of a cognitive world would lead to mass confusion and potentially hysteria among the general public. But because of Yaldabaoth's interference, it just leads to apathy. The public is too lazy to really do anything about the confession. They don't really know how to process the information, and simply want someone else to tell them what to do about it. That is Yaldabaoth's goal. It always has been. He doesn't want to see which ideology is the best for humanity. He doesn't care about the results of the game. He only wants to do what he was created to do. And if you think about it, he also doesn't have a say in his own game. He was created by the masses. His own thoughts and actions are influenced by the public. At the end of the day, he's nothing more than a treasure. He's a manifestation of the public's distortions. He's no different than Kamoshida's medal or the Sayuri. In that way, he's almost a tragic character like Akechi. He has no choice but to be evil. And because of that, he can't grow, he can't evolve, he can't go through the fool's journey. That's why I think we never see a world arcana in Persona 5. The story is partially about the Phantom Thieves, but it's really about Yaldabaoth's game. The Phantom Thieves, the mental shutdowns, the Shido conspiracy, all of that falls under his umbrella. And his lack of growth results in him being unable to change, which, again, is perfect for who he is and how he was created. Think back to the Yaldabaoth fight for a minute. He attacks you using the 7 deadly sins in the order that you encounter them throughout your journey. Your own fool's journey. But then, how does he die? He launches a final desperate attack, the Rays of Control. The only way for Joker to fight back is to break the chains of Arsene and evolve into Sataniel, the ultimate persona of the Fool Arcana. Joker essentially became a god in the Qliphoth world. The cognitive and physical worlds were fused at that point, so if everyone's hopes and wishes are with the Phantom Thieves, the old god was defeated by the new god that he himself created. Joker didn't need to awaken to the World Arcana to defeat Yaldabaoth, because Yaldabaoth doesn't represent the journey's end. He represented what happens when you never even set foot on that journey. Yaldabaoth didn't have a fool's journey. He didn't set off. He was always stuck at 0. He was always stuck at the Fool. It was definitely an interesting choice to not have the Phantom Thieves as the Fool Arcana. If you played P5 first like me, you were probably confused when there were social links with multiple people. However, if you take a step back and look at the motivations and origins of Yaldabaoth, it makes perfect sense. It's really ingenious storytelling from Atlus, and was definitely a shift in the narrative to go this route. This is the first character study in what will be a series in which I go over all of the different arcana in Persona 5. It's going to take a long time to make my way through this series, but I hope you'll stick around for the rest of it. Yaldabaoth is definitely a tough first video since he doesn't really do much until the end of the game, but taking time to think about his story and how it relates to the Fool has been incredibly intriguing. He has far more depth and nuance than I thought before making this video, and you can even argue that he has no agency in his own life in the same way that Joker and Akechi lacked that same agency. Yaldabaoth started life as a fool and ended life as a fool. Thanks for watching.